The life of Princess Haya Bint al-Hussein is a story so extraordinary, it feels like a movie waiting to happen. She grew up surrounded by royalty, graced the Olympic stage as a championship equestrian, and was once seen as a symbol of modernity in the Middle East. But behind the glittering facade of her royal marriage lay a darker reality. In a dramatic turn of events, she risked everything: her life, her reputation, and her safety, to escape a gilded cage and protect her children from a powerful ruler. What pushed Princess Haya to make this daring escape? How did she rebuild her life in exile while battling immense odds? And what hidden struggles does she still face today? Watch until the end to uncover the shocking truth behind Princess Haya's journey, a tale of bravery, heartbreak, and hope that continues to inspire. Let's dive in. Born in 1974, Princess Haya is the daughter of King Hussein and his third wife, Queen Ali of Jordan. Need and entitlement as a child and public face of the world. She lost her mother at the age of 3 in a helicopter crash. Without room to spend more time with him, she'd cling to this tragedy that made an automatic bond with the father who fought for her independence, and would use her space outdoors to build a love of horseback riding, something she'd carry into lots of areas of life. Armed with a tidal wave of intelligence and no little bit of grace, an ambition she chased her whole life as well, Haya was more than a mere royal. An accomplished equestrian who competed for Jordan at the Sydney Olympics in 2000, she has global stature. This distinction made her a national symbol, and in doing so, she became an icon of hope for women throughout the Middle East. But Haya herself felt heartbroken closer to home. When she was 20, she fell in love with Bashar al-Assad, the firstborn of Syrian President Hafez al-Assad. But tragedy struck just 2 months later when Bashar died in a car crash, leaving their fairy tale romance unfinished. Haya suppressed her sadness and pain for nearly a decade, choosing to bury herself in royal duties and horse riding instead of trying out dating. Haya first became acquainted with Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum at an equestrian event in Spain during 2004. Both were horse lovers, and a whirlwind romance followed, with a marriage that appeared to symbolize modern royal togetherness. Haya had become an international figure as the Sheikh's 6th wife, performing diplomatic functions at many of Dubai's top events, and regarded as a symbol of modernity in emerging UAE. Haya was admired for her grace and intellect, often viewed as a reformist influence in the generally conservative royal family. She helped to publicize Dubai's artistic and equestrian endeavors, which won hearts around the world. But looking through the facade, cracks were already starting to develop. Although this came with freedoms previously unheard of for the wives of other royals, for one thing, she moved around the palace largely unimpeded, the relationship started to be pulled apart because of cultural expectations and the Sheikh's domineering manner. As her world at the royal court of glittering Dubai began to feel more and more like a gilded cage, Haya, who by then had given birth to 2 children, a son Jalila and a daughter Zayed with Al Maktoum, decided enough was enough. This illusion was shattered in 2019 when Princess Haya fled from Dubai, taking with her the couple's 2 children, Jalila and Zayed. This was precipitated by a succession of horrifying disclosures regarding the Sheikh's treatment of his children from earlier marriages, notably Princess Latifa and Princess Shamsa. The sinister cycle of the authoritarian regime had evinced itself with Latifa's unsuccessful attempts to escape Dubai and the strange disappearance of Shamsa in 2000. Haya had fled, but lived in fear for her own safety and that of her children, and decided she could remain silent no longer. Adding to the tension were allegations of her supposed entanglement with her British bodyguard, an accusation that broke down trust in the royal household and further intensified the dispute. Haya had been receiving menacing threats, including notes and guns on her bed. Afraid, she plotted a getaway to London and embraced one of the greatest royal dramas of her time. Comment below if you were enjoying the video so far. And before you leave, give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe for more interesting stories of different lives. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we upload another video. Click this button. It just takes seconds, and for us, it'll be a great help. But upon arriving in London, Haya had a formidable task in front of her: to gain custody of her children. The explosive evidence was put forward by both sides during their epic legal to and fro on the High Court. Haya had alleged the Sheikh monitored her and her legal team using advanced spyware, an allegation forensic experts said was substantiated. It was the first time a court had ruled this way. Haya was awarded the largest divorce settlement in British history, $730 million. The amount comprised security and living expenses for her and the children, as well as compensation for items she had left behind in Dubai. It also heard how the Sheikh tried to snap up homes next to Haya's London home, purportedly to spy on her. Such revelations sullied his reputation even further and brought a separation from powerful individuals, including the British royal family. The settlement also reflected the huge personal sacrifice which Haya herself had made. Her courtroom became the front line of a war. Her personal life laid bare in 24/7 public scrutiny. Despite everything, she showed remarkable strength as she fought to protect her children and start a new life safe from fear. Princess Haya now resides in the UK with her 2 children, Jalila and Zayed. She lives mostly at Castlewood House, a mansion in Surrey, and a $135 million home in one of London's wealthiest districts. But her life in exile is not easy. Not known for her modesty, Haya lives in constant security with a full-time bodyguard, aware that the Sheikh's grip extends well beyond the UAE. Much of the settlement money goes to taking care of her and the children. Nevertheless, with such difficulties, Haya has a persistent mind to recover her life. The comparisons run rampant, and Jalila, now 16, is said to be a beautiful version of her mother. Similarly, Zayed is becoming a self-assured young man. Haya still places them above everything and draws strength from them. In addition to that, Haya then also devoted her time to embrace back her green roots, which she brought inspiration from her Jordanian culture and also from her father, wherever he may be. She has also been quietly philanthropic, continuing efforts on causes she feels passionate about, like the cause of women's empowerment and education. But for Haya, this slow reintegration into public life has aided the overnight balancing act of needing privacy while symbolically dragging behind her the cross she has also chosen as a princess to bear. In 2022, Haya made an appearance before the world that was achingly symbolic. She had attended Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, along with dignitaries and royals from around the globe. Haya quietly registered her uncle, Prince Hassan of Jordan. The engagement was the 25-year-old former royal's first major international appearance since her escape, and was seen as pointing to a reclaiming of her title, but on her own terms. Not only did this put her resilience in the spotlight, but it was a huge moment for her in reaffirming her place as a royal. In 2023, Haya took a small step closer still at a celebratory dinner for the yacht Maiden with her children. The late king restored the racing vessel in 1989, and it recently completed a round-the-world journey. It was an extremely emotional moment for Haya. In so assisting the yacht on its journey and rooting for the boat's return to competition, she honored a dad who believed that empowerment was more than just passing down burdens, and values that influence every part of Haya's life today. One of the few times she's been seen in public, both as a mother and also a figurehead, Haya was photographed smiling and chatting to other guests at the event. And the kids, Jalila and Zayed, growing up at her side, were graceful and dignified, a testament to Haya's spirit of motherhood and adversity. They were a steady, warm presence for the family, though everyone around them said their greatest strength lay within. They had endured, and with time, had begun to heal. Part of Haya's background and passion has made her more than a public figure by proxy. She is an advocate. Internationally, she has partnered with various global organizations to support the rights of women and children in areas of turmoil. We are more than just the stories we tell ourselves. Her story has been that of fighting for other women fleeing domestic violence, girls stuck in patriarchal family units, and advocating for children being shielded from unhealthy environments. And there's equally a lot of what she does which happens out of public view. The behind-the-scenes work, offering guidance on policies, raising her voice, and calling for action across the world. She has also spoken at forums on cyber surveillance and other liberties issues that threaten civil liberty, something she knows too well herself. Haya has become a highly skilled ambassador of justice. She spreads her voice around the world, channeling it to raise consciousness and compel real positive movement. In her personal life, Haya has carefully ventured back into the past. She has made frequent under-the-radar visits to Jordan, where she has visited with her extended family and all but performed in events bolstering education and cultural preservation efforts in her home country. This way, she has her roots nearby, and, these visits aside, is right at home. What Haya's public appearances and advocacy work signify is more than just a return to the synergy. They represent freedom from her old life. Not that it was a life lived in fear or under constriction, but she shines now with the strength of purpose and potential of direction. It still inspires us that Haya could rise above and hold her head high, reminding us all that while the heart has endured at least unimaginable trauma, we can all pick up the pieces again and live life to the fullest. The estranged spouse of the Dubai ruler takes people on a journey that also reflects the resilience of the human being. More than a tale of kings and riches, it is about the length the mother will go to keep her children safe, and the bravery required to stand up against such great evil. Today, her life might not be filled with riches, but rather her dedication to providing a stable and nurturing environment for her children. Haya reminds us all that we can always rise again from the ashes and burn even brighter despite what terrible things happen to us. Her experience also sets the stage for larger debates over women's rights in a patriarchal culture, the extent of power, and adherence to love. Princess Haya is an inspiration of hope for many around the world as reportage follows her journey. But as Princess Haya continues her journey of resilience and reinvention, her story reminds us of another royal tale, one shrouded in scandal and tragedy. Imagine a princess who dared to defy a king's decree, refusing to marry his powerful friend. The price of her rebellion? A punishment so shocking, it shook an entire kingdom to its core. What drove her to take such a dangerous stand? And how could one decision lead to a royal execution that still haunts history? Click on the screen now to uncover the chilling truth behind this forbidden tale.